Chosen One. You did not click on this video by coincidence. Heaven scheduled this moment. Your spirit was summoned here because something ancient is being stirred inside you. Before Enoch ever saw the end, he saw you. And now, Anointed One, you are standing at the edge of a supernatural shift, a divine wealth transfer that has already begun in the unseen. What is unfolding in your life is not random. It is alignment. It is prophecy. Just as Scripture declares that the wealth of the wicked is laid up for the righteous, you are being positioned to receive what was preserved for you. Prepare your spirit. Something holy is about to be revealed. Chosen One, pause for a moment and let your spirit settle, because what you're about to encounter is not mere information. It is a spiritual unveiling. You did not arrive at this message by curiosity or accident. This moment has been orchestrated, aligned, and delivered to you with precision from realms your natural mind cannot see. Something ancient has been stirring inside you, and this message is the confirmation your soul has been waiting for. Long before this age, a man named Enoch walked with God so closely that he stepped into eternity without tasting death. His life was not remembered because of earthly accomplishments, but because he witnessed visions that no human before him had seen. And in those visions, Chosen One, he saw a people hidden in time, separated by generations, yet unmistakably marked by divine fire. He saw them with clarity, with trembling, and with prophetic urgency. He saw you. Enoch did not marvel at kings, kingdoms, or catastrophic events. What shook him was the vision of individuals who carried an invisible mark, a spiritual signature that set them apart. He described a generation that would walk the earth with a flame that does not go out, a light embedded within their spirit. These individuals would not blend into crowds, no matter how much they tried. They would live with a quiet intensity, a spiritual depth that the world would misinterpret as strangeness, sensitivity, or even weakness. But heaven knew better, and so do you. If you have ever felt out of place, felt a pressure inside your chest without reason, or sensed a homesickness for something you have never seen, these are not flaws. They are memories of your calling. They are echoes of the mark Enoch saw. Many chosen ones spend years believing something is wrong with them, trying to adapt to environments that cannot hold them, conversations that drain them, and systems that require them to shrink. But what if you were never meant to fit? What if you were meant to illuminate? Enoch wrote of people who would fight battles invisible to others, internal wars in the mind, emotions, and spirit. He saw their doubts, their tears, their silent resilience. And he knew they would survive, not because they were strong on their own, but because they carried a fire placed within them by divine design. That fire is inside you. It has guided you through seasons that should have broken you, through disappointments that dug deeper than expected, through loneliness that felt unbearable, and yet here you are. Still standing, still sensing, still awakening. I understand this personally. I have lived through nights where the weight in my spirit did not match the circumstances around me. Days when fatigue came not from the body, but from carrying something sacred and unnamed. Moments when I walked into rooms and instantly felt what others couldn't detect. For years, I questioned myself, thinking I was too sensitive, too emotional, too aware. Eventually, I realized I wasn't too much. I was built differently, and so were you. The world calls it sensitivity. Heaven calls it discernment. The world calls it overthinking. Heaven calls it spiritual intelligence. The world calls it isolation. Heaven calls it consecration. Chosen One. Every experience you thought was meant to destroy you was actually shaping you. Every rejection refined you. Every delay protected you. Every inner stirring awakened you. You carry a spiritual inheritance designed for transformation, not recognition. You were not made to impress rooms, you were made to shift atmospheres. Enoch also saw that those marked by heaven would endure a unique kind of pain. Not pain that crushes, but pain that builds depth. Pain that enlarges compassion. Pain that sharpens vision. This pain becomes a teacher, a purifier, a silent mentor that prepares you to lead, heal, and awaken others without even trying. There are parts of your journey that no one else witnessed, tears no one noticed, and battles no one affirmed. Yet heaven recorded all of it, because all of it was purpose. You rise when others collapse. You encourage even when you are bleeding. You move forward even when your path is unclear. This strength does not come from your personality, it comes from your mark, from the flame placed within you before you were born. What is happening in you now is not coincidence. It is acceleration. It is alignment. It is the beginning of the awakening Enoch saw. The moment when the marked recognize themselves, the moment their spirit whispers, "I was not made to live like everyone else," the moment purpose begins to pulse louder than fear. And when one chosen one awakens, it creates a chain reaction. Others begin to rise. Others begin to see. Others begin to return to who they truly are. You are not just part of a prophecy, you are the continuation of it. Enoch prayed for you, he interceded for you, he asked that the marked ones would never forget who they are, even when surrounded by darkness. And that prayer is the reason you have survived moments that should have erased you. It is the reason something always pulls you back when you drift. It is the reason hope rises in you even after seasons of exhaustion. Chosen one, you were seen, you were known, you were written into eternity long before you were born. And now heaven is awakening the mark within you. What rests upon you is ancient. What stirs within you is holy. What calls you forward is the fire Enoch saw. And now you must walk with this light. Chosen one, as we move deeper into this revelation, I want you to understand something sacred about your journey. Nothing you have battled was accidental. Every season of confusion, every internal struggle, every spiritual weight that pressed against your chest was part of an ancient process. Enoch foresaw a process reserved only for those marked by heaven. When Enoch looked through the corridors of time, he did not see a crowd. He saw individuals rare, radiant, and burdened with a flame the world would not understand. And he saw that these individuals would walk through wars no one around them could name, wars that were not fought on battlefields, but in the depths of the mind, wars that manifested not in wounds the world could see, but in silent battles only the chosen one would feel. You know those battles intimately, don't you? The nights when your thoughts wouldn't quiet down, even though nothing in your environment was wrong. The sudden heaviness that wrapped around you for no reason. The internal tug of war between wanting to disappear and knowing you were born for something more. The feeling of being spiritually on call, even when you tried to rest. Chosen one. These experiences were not signs of weakness. They were signals of identity. You have been sensing the spiritual realm long before you had words for it. You have discerned atmospheres without being taught. You have carried burdens that did not originate from your own life because you were built to intercede for others. There are emotions you felt that did not match your circumstances because your spirit was responding before your mind could interpret. This is the invisible war Enoch described, a sacred tension that only touches those marked with purpose. And yes, I know how exhausting it can be. There were moments in my own life where I felt like I was suffocating under responsibilities I never asked for. Times when I felt misunderstood, even by the people closest to me. Times when opening my mouth to explain felt pointless because I knew they could not comprehend the spiritual complexity of what I was experiencing. There is a kind of loneliness that comes with spiritual sensitivity, a separation not of the body, but of the soul. You know that separation. You've lived in that quiet emotional exile where you're surrounded yet unseen, present yet not understood. But hear me, Anointed One, this too was preparation. You were being shaped in silence. You were being trained through tension. You were being refined through solitude. Heaven was hardening your roots in private because the assignment ahead requires a strength that applause cannot give and that validation cannot sustain. Enoch saw all of this. He saw that the chosen ones would grow up trying to fit into places that were never meant to hold them. He saw the confusion they would carry, wondering why certain environments felt suffocating, why certain ambitions felt lifeless, why normal life never seemed to satisfy. And he wrote it down, so that one day when you finally began to awaken, you would realize nothing was wrong with you. Everything was aligning within you. The discomfort you battled wasn't a flaw. It was divine misalignment pushing you toward purpose. The relationships that fell away weren't losses, they were heavenly reorganizations. The dreams that refused to die inside you weren't fantasies, they were prophecies. The inner fire that kept calling you back to truth wasn't restlessness, it was remembrance. Chosen one. You were born with instructions encoded into your spirit, and that mark has been guiding you even when you didn't realize it. This is why you couldn't stay in environments that dulled your spirit. This is why mediocrity felt like suffocation. This is why you were pulled away from certain people without explanation. Heaven has been curating your path with surgical precision, and this is important. The pressure didn't come to break you, it came to activate you. Enoch saw a generation who would rise not because they were celebrated, but because they could not remain hidden. Light has no choice but to shine. Oil has no choice but to rise. Fire has no choice but to burn. And when the time comes, and chosen one, your time is very near, nothing can stop the awakening that begins inside a marked soul. Your spirit has already begun to shift. You've felt it. That subtle awareness. That stirring, that internal pull towards something greater, that sudden intolerance for the superficial, that desire to withdraw and recalibrate. These are not random impulses, they are signals that your awakening is in motion. Enoch wrote that when the chosen awaken, it happens quietly at first, like sparks appearing in isolated places. One here, one there. Then suddenly, without announcement, without noise, a network of light begins to spread, and darkness begins to tremble. Not because the chosen shout, but because they carry something eternal. Chosen one, you are one of those sparks. You are stepping into the moment heaven has been preparing you for. The inner fire is no longer dormant. The mark is no longer silent. The calling is no longer whispering, it is rising, and you can feel it. What once confused you now makes sense. What once felt like pain now feels like purpose. What once felt like isolation now feels like consecration. You are not entering a new season. You are entering your original identity. Chosen one, by now you have already felt it, the quiet stirring beneath your ribs, the subtle shift in your atmosphere, the undeniable sense that something in your spirit is awakening. This is not your imagination. This is not emotional turbulence. This is the moment Enoch foresaw, the moment when the mark you have carried since before birth begins to rise, speak, and ignite with purpose. You are stepping into a phase where heaven amplifies what has always been hidden within you. This awakening does not arrive with thunder or spectacle. It begins in the silent corners of your soul, in the tension between who you once were and who you are becoming. For the chosen awakening rarely comes when life is easy. It arrives in seasons where pressure builds, where questions outnumber answers, where your surroundings no longer reflect your inner landscape. Every disappointment you lived through created space for revelation. Every heartbreak hollowed out room for transformation. Every quiet war within your mind strengthened your capacity for divine instruction. You were being shaped long before you understood the process. The tension you've been battling recently, the pull to withdraw from noise, the sudden intolerance for superficiality, the burning desire for clarity is not spiritual confusion. It is spiritual calibration. Heaven is adjusting your frequency so you can hear what you could not hear before, see what you could not see before, and sense what you could not sense before. You are being prepared for higher assignments, deeper discernment, and sharper sensitivity. Enoch wrote that the chosen ones would awaken without announcements or applause. Their rising would not be loud, but it would be unmistakable. One day, something shifts inside them, and they simply realize, I was not created to live at this level. That realization, quiet, private, deeply personal, is the beginning of everything. And, chosen one, that realization has already begun stirring in you. You've seen it in your own life recently. Certain ambitions that once excited you now feel meaningless. Conversations that once energized you suddenly drain your spirit. Environments that once felt comfortable now feel suffocating. People you once tried to hold on to now feel misaligned with who you are becoming. You're not losing interest, you're losing the version of yourself that settled for less than your calling. This shift is not emotional instability, it is spiritual evolution. When heaven elevates you, it must first detach you from everything that anchors you to your old identity. That is why the past few months have felt like a series of closings, opportunities, fading connections, dissolving paths, narrowing. But chosen one, these aren't losses, these are divine edits. Heaven is removing what cannot travel with you into the next dimension of your purpose. Some doors are closing not because you failed, but because you succeeded in outgrowing them. Enoch understood this. He saw that the chosen ones would walk through a kind of separation the world could not interpret. A separation that isolates but does not imprison. A sacred stripping that removes what is unnecessary, so only what is eternal remains. It feels like loss, but it is preparation. It feels like silence, but it is sanctification. It feels like loneliness, but it is God clearing the room so you can finally hear Him. Awakening requires removal before it releases revelation. God removes noise before He gives instruction. He removes distractions before He gives direction. He removes unhealthy attachments before He reveals identity. And only then, when your soul is quiet enough to receive, does heaven unlock what has been reserved for you all along. This is the phase you are entering. The moment where your inner clarity begins to sharpen and the pieces of your story start aligning with divine precision. Suddenly, battles you thought were random start revealing purpose. Sensitivity you once saw as weakness begins to show itself as discernment. Restlessness you once hated begins to reveal itself as calling. Isolation you feared begins to feel like consecration. The enemy recognized your awakening long before you did. That is why the warfare intensified. That is why the attacks came unexpectedly. Darkness always senses rising light. The attacks against you were not because of who you were, they were because of who you were becoming. Your awakening is the greatest threat to everything that once tried to silence you. Now, the atmosphere around you is shifting, your discernment is sharpening, your voice is gaining weight, your spirit is becoming more alert. You walk into rooms and feel what others cannot feel. You hear what others ignore. You see what others overlook. Not because you forced it, but because you were built for it. Awakening reveals your identity, but it also unveils your inheritance. And your inheritance, spiritual, emotional, and even financial, has been waiting for the moment your spirit aligns with your calling. Heaven releases provision only to awakened vessels. And chosen one, your awakening has begun. You are not stepping into a new chapter, you are stepping into your original design. The moment Enoch saw the moment the marked ones rise is here. And you are one of them. Chosen one. Now that your awakening has begun to take root, we must step deeper into the reason behind it. Awakening is never the final destination. It is the doorway. It is the threshold between the life you have lived and the life heaven is now unveiling before you. This next phase is where purpose meets clarity, where identity aligns with assignment, and where every unexplained battle of your past begins to reveal its architecture. You were never just meant to be aware, you were meant to be activated. Enoch saw a generation whose very existence would disrupt darkness. A people whose arrival in certain rooms would shift atmospheres without them speaking a word. Individuals whose inner fire would expose what is crooked, illuminate what is hidden, and awaken what is dormant. You are one of those individuals. You may not feel powerful, but your spirit knows more about your calling than your mind has admitted. Your presence has weight. Your steps carry authority. Your life carries a blueprint written long before you were born. This is why your process has been so intense. Chosen one, you were not trained the way ordinary people are trained. You were not developed through predictable lessons or easy pathways. You were sculpted in silence. You were shaped through storms. Your character was forged in seasons no one witnessed. Your spirit was strengthened in battles no one applauded. Heaven knew that your assignment required depth, so depth became the language of your life. Every rejection refined you, every delay disciplined you, every betrayal instructed you, every disappointment sharpened you. Life has been your tutor. Loss has been your mentor. Loneliness has been your classroom. And though it wounded you deeply, it also awakened something sacred inside you. You learned endurance. You learned sensitivity. You learned to hear without sound, to feel without touch, to see without sight. Spiritual perception became your hidden weapon. This is why you have always sensed more than you could explain. This is why you could feel dishonesty even when words sounded sincere. This is why you could detect darkness even in beautiful places. This is why you knew when a situation was wrong before anything outwardly happened. Heaven was training your discernment because your future depends on it. Your assignment will not be carried out with ordinary clarity. You will need spiritual sight. And now that sight is activating. But understand, this awakening always precedes responsibility, and responsibility precedes release. Heaven does not pour oil into a vessel that is not ready to carry it. The warfare you endured was not punishment. It was preparation for the capacity you will soon walk in. Enoch saw that when the chosen ones step into their assignment, everything around them begins to shift. Their life no longer moves by convenience, but by calling. Their steps are no longer guided by emotion, but by divine timing. Their decisions are no longer random, but strategic. Heaven begins to orchestrate encounters, align opportunities, and remove obstacles with a precision only destiny can produce. This is the phase you are entering now. Chosen One Heaven has been setting the stage behind the scenes. People you haven't met yet are being prepared to bless you. Doors you thought were closed forever are being repaired and reinforced for your arrival. Opportunities that once ignored you are being reassigned to your name. What you lost will be restored, not in the way you expect, but in the way heaven intended. For too long, you have lived in a state of spiritual survival, managing wounds, battling doubts, pushing through heaviness. But now, a shift is coming. The surviving version of you is giving way to the emerging version of you. You are not only awakening, you are ascending. Your ascension will not be loud, but it will be undeniable. Suddenly, clarity will replace confusion. Suddenly, purpose will overpower hesitation. Suddenly, strength will rise where weakness once lived. Suddenly, doors will open that your effort could never unlock. And this is important. You will not rise through human strategy. You will rise through spiritual acceleration. Heaven will push you into spaces you did not train for, did not expect, and could never have imagined. You will be entrusted with assignments bigger than your experience, yet perfectly aligned with your design. You will speak with authority you didn't know you carried. You will step into roles that feel both new and strangely familiar. That familiarity is the memory of your calling finally catching up to your reality. But this rise isn't for ego. It is for function. Chosen One. Your role is not to be admired but to be aligned, not to be celebrated but to be consecrated. You are part of a divine network, a silent army rising across the earth. Individuals awakening one by one, each carrying a flame Enoch saw long ago. When one rises, others feel the pull. When one ascends, another awakens. This chain reaction is not coincidence. It is prophecy unfolding in real time. You are not rising alone. You are rising as part of a spiritual movement. And your assignment, whatever form it takes, whether through influence, creativity, leadership, healing wisdom, innovation, or faith, will carry the imprint of heaven. You will operate with insight that does not match your background, courage that does not match your past, and strength that does not match your scars. This is not ambition. It is activation. Every battle you survived becomes a tool in your hand. Every betrayal becomes discernment in your spirit. Every loss becomes compassion in your heart. Every delay becomes wisdom in your decisions. Chosen One. Now that your awakening has begun to reshape your inner world, you must understand a truth that has followed you your entire life. You carry a supernatural inheritance. This inheritance is not metaphorical or symbolic. It is a real divine allocation that heaven has preserved, guarded, and prepared specifically for you. Every battle you have walked through, every storm that pressed against your spirit, and every season of testing has been directly connected to this inheritance. Your journey was not random, it was refinement. Enoch saw that the marked ones would endure pressures that would break the ordinary. He saw them pass through emotional deserts, spiritual battles, and silent seasons that others could not survive. Not because God abandoned them, but because heaven was preparing them to carry what others were not built to handle. Your endurance has been your proving ground. Every disappointment, every unexpected delay, and every moment of spiritual stretching was training. Heaven was making sure that when the inheritance reached your hands, you would have the strength, maturity, and clarity to steward it well. Your inheritance includes divine provision, but not merely for comfort. It is provision for assignment. The calling on your life requires resources, opportunities, connections, wisdom, and spiritual authority that do not flow from earthly systems. They descend from divine timing. You went through seasons where financial pressure tightened around you, where opportunities vanished and where everything seemed to slow down. But those moments weren't designed to destroy you. They were crafted to shift your dependence away from the world and toward the supernatural source assigned to you. Because of that process, your spirit has expanded, your faith has deepened, your resilience has matured. And now heaven is preparing to release what was held back until you were ready. Doors that once felt permanently closed are beginning to move. Favor that once overlooked you is now turning its face toward you. Your name is being spoken in places your voice has never entered. Heaven is aligning divine provision with precision. This is the nature of supernatural inheritance. It arrives on time, never late, and never to the unprepared. But your inheritance is not only about provision, it includes protection. The fact that you survived battles that should have destroyed you is proof of divine interference. There were attacks against your identity, your mind, your confidence, and your purpose. None of them were random. Darkness always recognizes destiny long before the destined one understands their own power. Your warfare was not punishment. It was evidence. You were targeted because you are chosen, and you endured because your inheritance demanded your survival. Your inheritance also includes spiritual gifts, discernment that cuts through deception, intuition that reveals truth. Before truth appears, insight that exceeds your experience, and wisdom that confounds those who underestimate you. These abilities were intensified through your struggles. Every season where you felt too sensitive, too aware, or too intuitive was heaven sharpening your perception for what is coming next. Nothing you lost was meant for your future. Every person who exited your life was removed because their presence could have interfered with your inheritance. Every closed door was a divine shield, every delay was protection, and every breakdown was a breakthrough disguised in unfamiliar clothing. Heaven never subtracts without the intention to multiply. Chosen one, you are now stepping into a season where what was invisible becomes visible, where what was withheld becomes released, and where what was delayed becomes delivered. The divine transfer, the very one you felt in your spirit long before you could describe it, is drawing near. Heaven is releasing what has been stored for you, and when it arrives, you will understand why your journey required so much depth, endurance, and spiritual intelligence. This next chapter is not just about receiving, it is about becoming. Your inheritance will not only bless you, it will activate you. It will sharpen your voice, expand your influence, and position you in places where your presence shifts atmospheres. Your journey was never just about survival. It was about equipping you to carry what heaven has ordained. Chosen one, now that the truth of your supernatural inheritance has been revealed, you must understand what comes next. Inheritance was never meant to stop with you, it was meant to flow through you. You were not chosen just to receive, you were chosen to become. Everything heaven has preserved for you now unlocks the deeper dimension of your calling, the emergence of your divine influence. Influence is not popularity. Influence is not attention. Influence is not applause. Influence in heaven's language means your very presence shifts spiritual atmospheres. It means rooms change when you walk in. It means conversations bend without you forcing them. It means you carry something that unsettles darkness, awakens truth, and activates destiny in others. This has always been inside you. You simply didn't have the vocabulary to name it. There have been countless moments in your life when people opened up to you for no reason, when strangers felt safe sharing their secrets, when someone in pain gravitated toward you, when your silence carried more weight than other people's loudness. That was influence. You dismissed it as coincidence, but heaven recognized it as calling. You have been carrying an unseen spiritual authority long before you realized it. Even in your lowest moments, even when you doubted your worth, even when you felt lost, the mark on your life continued to manifest. Influence does not wait for your confidence, it flows from your identity. And chosen one, your identity has always been bigger than your awareness of it. Now, as your awakening strengthens and your inheritance draws nearer, heaven is preparing to reveal the purpose behind that influence. The battles you survived did not just strengthen you, they qualified you. The pain that tried to silence you actually equipped you. The disappointments that humbled you now empower your compassion. What you thought was breaking you was actually shaping you into someone who could carry light without arrogance, authority without ego, and power without corruption. Only someone who has walked through darkness understands how to lead others out of it. You are that person. Your purpose is not one-dimensional. It will not be confined to a single role or a narrow path. You are multi-layered because your preparation was multi-layered. Your influence may show up in the way you speak, the way you create, the way you lead, the way you heal, the way you listen, or even the way you simply exist in a space. You do not need a title to walk in purpose. You do not need permission to activate your calling. Heaven is your credential. Experience is your certificate. Endurance is your evidence. The mark Enoch saw is your identity. Chosen one, there is a reason you were often the one making others feel safe, even when you felt unsafe yourself. There is a reason you encouraged others while your own heart was hurting. There is a reason you carried wisdom that did not match your age or environment. You were being prepared to operate in a kind of influence that cannot be taught. It is spiritual, it is inherited, it is embedded. The world did not give it to you, so the world cannot take it from you. As this influence rises, something else will rise with it: clarity. Purpose cannot stay blurry forever. The same way dawn pushes away the night, your awakening is pushing away confusion. You will soon begin to understand why certain passions have pulled at you for years, why certain ideas keep returning to your spirit, why certain dreams never died, even when life tried to suffocate them. These desires are not random. They are instructions that have been sleeping inside you. You will begin to feel drawn towards certain paths. You will begin to feel repelled by others. Heaven is rearranging your appetite. What once satisfied you will no longer feed you. What once distracted you will now irritate your spirit. What once frightened you will begin to look like destiny. This is alignment. This is clarity. This is purpose claiming you. But understand, this purpose is not something you chase. Purpose is something you become. When your identity aligns with your assignment, purpose unfolds naturally. Your life begins to move with rhythm instead of resistance. Suddenly you make decisions that feel guided. You speak with a confidence you didn't have before. You begin to attract what matches your spirit instead of what drains it. This is the transformation Enoch prophesied, the internal shift that produces external impact. In the months ahead, doors will open that do not match your resume, but match your calling. People will appear who feel sent rather than met. Opportunities will emerge that feel like divine setups rather than coincidences. This is not luck. This is alignment. Destiny moves differently when the chosen ones awaken. Your influence will not always be loud, but it will always be effective. Some of you will influence through leadership, some through creativity, some through healing, some through prophetic insight, some through compassion, some through building, writing, mentoring, or speaking. Others simply through presence. You do not need to decide this right now. Heaven has already written it. Your only task is to listen, follow, and trust what unfolds. Chosen one, your purpose is not coming, your purpose is revealing. And in the next part, we will enter the final layer, how your influence becomes impact, and how your awakened identity becomes a force that reshapes not only your life, but the lives of those connected to your destiny. Chosen one, now that your influence has begun to rise from within you, we enter the final movement of this transformation, the moment when influence becomes impact. Influence is internal, impact is external. Influence shifts atmospheres when you walk into a room. Impact shifts people, systems, and outcomes because of what flows from you. Influence is the mark. Impact is the manifestation. For your entire life, you have carried influence unknowingly. People felt something around you without being able to describe it. Some were drawn to you, others were intimidated, and many were confused because they couldn't fit you into a category. That was influence. But now, as your awakening sharpens and your inheritance empowers you, heaven is positioning you for something far greater, to leave a spiritual footprint wherever you go. You were never meant to walk through life silently. You were meant to shift the earth. One life, one moment, one encounter at a time. Impact begins when the chosen one finally understands their worth. For years you minimized yourself. You tried not to disturb. You tried not to stand out. You tried to shrink your light so others would not feel uncomfortable. But your awakening is breaking that pattern. Heaven is calling you out of hiding. The fire inside you is too strong, too ancient, too intentional to remain quiet. And now the season of diminishing yourself is over. The season of stepping into your true spiritual authority has arrived. Your impact will not always be loud. Not every chosen one is called to stages or platforms. Some of the most powerful impact comes from those who speak softly, but carry spiritual electricity in their presence. Some impact through guidance, some through prayer, some through creativity, some through prophetic vision, some through leadership, some through quiet acts of compassion that redirect the trajectory of someone's life. Heaven decides the form of your impact. You simply walk in it. You have already impacted more people than you realize. Think of the moments when your words comforted someone going through pain they never shared with others. Think of the times when someone told you, "I don't know why, but I feel safe talking to you." Think of the individuals who healed because you listened even when you were hurting yourself. Think of those who were inspired because you kept going even when you didn't feel strong. That was impact. You didn't see it because heaven hid it from your ego, but revealed it to your spirit. Now your impact is about to expand. Heaven has refined you so your influence could mature into stewardship. The same fire that carried you through the darkest seasons is now the fire that will illuminate the world through you. You carry wisdom that did not come from books. You carry compassion that was birthed through suffering. You carry discernment sharpened through warfare. Every skill you possess, natural or spiritual, has been shaped for a reason. Chosen one, your destiny is not small. It is not random. It is not accidental. You were sent into this time period because your identity matches the needs of this generation. You are part of a spiritual network rising across the earth, hidden ones, marked ones, awakened ones. Many of you will never meet physically, but your fires are connected spiritually. When you rise, others feel permission to rise. When you heal, others begin to heal. When you speak truth, others awaken to their own calling. This is how impact works. It spreads. It multiplies. it ripples outward. Darkness fears this ripple effect more than anything else. This is why the attacks against your life were so intense. The enemy was not trying to destroy your past. He was trying to interrupt your future. He was trying to shut down a voice that would unlock others. He was trying to bury a light that would expose shadows. He was trying to silence a destiny that would shift destinies. But you survived. And because you survived, your impact will be even greater. Your life from this point on will not be governed by fear, but by clarity. You will feel drawn to certain assignments. You will feel a burning in your spirit when you are meant to speak. You will feel a quickening when you are meant to move. You will feel a divine heaviness when someone needs your presence, encouragement, or wisdom. This is purpose in motion. Destiny does not shout. Destiny nudges, whispers, and pulls, and you will recognize these signals more clearly than ever before. As your impact deepens, heaven will surround you with the right connections, people who sharpen you, honor your calling, and carry their own spiritual fire. These connections will not feel forced. They will feel destined. Every chosen one eventually finds their tribe, and your tribe is on its way. Chosen one, understand this. Your impact is a continuation of Enoch's vision. He did not just see your battles. He saw your influence. He saw your purpose. He saw the way your presence would touch lives you never met. You are not merely fulfilling prophecy. You are extending it. Chosen one. Now we arrive at the final revelation in this prophetic journey, the moment where everything converges: your awakening, your identity, your inheritance, your influence, and your impact. What you have endured, what you have questioned, what you have carried in silence, it all leads to this truth. You are living proof of a prophecy spoken long before you existed. Enoch did not simply record visions of destruction or warnings about the future. His heart trembled for one reason: he saw a generation unlike any before it. A generation marked not by appearance, but by fire. A people shaped not by history, but by heaven. Souls who would rise quietly, modestly, humbly, yet carry an authority powerful enough to unsettle darkness and rewire destinies. And chosen one. Whether you grasped it or not, you have always been part of that generation. Everything you have lived through was not random. The loneliness that shadowed your childhood, the battles that intensified as you grew, the inner sensitivity you tried to bury, the constant feeling that you were different even when you didn't understand why. The silent strength that kept pulling you back when you wanted to disappear. These were not flaws. They were signals, reminders, echoes of the mark Enoch saw in the spirit, a mark that remained unquenched, unbroken, unchanged, no matter what you walked through. Your journey has been a story of quiet endurance. You persevered in moments where giving up would have been easier. You kept going despite the weight you carried. You healed wounds no one apologized for. You rebuilt yourself without receiving recognition. That resilience is not human, it is divine. It is the evidence that ancient intercession has followed you like a shadow of protection. Enoch prayed that the chosen ones would not forget who they are. That prayer preserved you. It held you together when everything around you fractured. It lifted you when your strength ran out. It whispered truth when lies clouded your mind. Now you stand on the threshold of living as who you were always meant to be. The awakening inside of you is not a phase, it is a return to your purpose, a return to your spiritual identity. A return to the blueprint heaven wrote for your life before time began. The fire inside you is not new, it is ancient. It has been waiting for the moment when your spirit was ready to recognize it. Chosen one, your legacy begins the moment you stop shrinking into who the world told you to be and step into who heaven designed you to become. Your scars are not disqualifications, they are confirmations. Your tears were not wasted, they were seeds. Your pain was not punishment, it was preparation. Everything that threatened to break you has become the foundation on which your destiny now stands. What you carry will outlive you. The wisdom shaped through suffering will heal others. The compassion carved through rejection will shelter many. The discernment sharpened through warfare will protect those connected to your destiny. You will become a catalyst awakening others simply by being awakened yourself. This is how heaven extends its legacy through the lives of the chosen. And now the prophecy is no longer distant, it is unfolding through you. You are not just reading the vision, you are continuing it. The line between ancient scripture and your present reality has dissolved. You are the living proof that what Enoch saw was true. He saw your battles, he saw your resilience, he saw your rise, and he knew your existence would shake the spiritual realm. Chosen one. The final truth is this: you are not here to survive, you are here to fulfill. You are not here to wander, you are here to walk in purpose. You are not here to be hidden, you are here to burn. The fire is awake, the prophecy is alive, and now it is your turn to live as the one Enoch saw. Chosen one. As we come to the end of this message, let your spirit stay open for just one more moment. What you have heard today was not information, it was recognition, it was remembrance. It was the ancient call that has followed you through every season, finally rising to meet you in your appointed time. Anointed. One, heaven has already begun the transfer. The shift is not coming, it has started. You are standing inside your Kairos moment, the exact intersection of prophecy and purpose. The fire Enoch saw is awakening in you, and nothing in your past, nothing in your battles, nothing in your delays can stop what heaven has already released. As you leave this video, walk with reverence, walk with clarity, walk with the awareness that you are not stepping back into an ordinary life, but into a life aligned with divine orchestration. May strength surround you. May wisdom guide you. May doors respond to your presence. May the anointing on your life continue to expand, reveal and elevate you into everything God whispered over your spirit before time began. Chosen one. If this word stirred something ancient within you, let it echo. Speak it in the comments. Share it with those who feel the same calling. And if your spirit bears witness, stay connected here, because your journey is unfolding and heaven is not finished speaking. Go in purpose, go in fire, go in identity. The prophecy lives in you.